Hello, I'm Kevin Hayward from KSH Safety Services. Can you guess what my middle name is? Safety is my middle name, and that's the name of my podcast.
KSH, 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 KSH. Safety is his
My guest today is Ashley Walker from HSE Advice UK. Welcome, Ashley.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem, not a problem. Tell us a bit about yourself.
So I, where do I start? I've been doing health and safety since 2011. Yeah, makes me feel old now. And I started the business around 5 years ago. So, we're going strong. We're about a team of 7 now.
Wow.
Yeah, we operate out of Lancaster, so health and safety, environmental and quality management.
So what sorts of clients do you have? Are the big clients or the quite small farmers or...
Like a
businesses?
proper mixture.
Also.
Yeah. So I suppose our smallest client is a motorcycle racing company, which is really interesting because they don't have staff really. It's just sponsorships, so they're all like self-employed riders.
All right.
All the way to like a national fostering group, which looks after about 7,500 looked after children. So we work 1 day a week for them. So it's a big range of clients, different industries. So that's quite cool.
Excellent. Well, we're going to talk today a bit about compliance, particularly with the small and medium-sized businesses and how they get involved with that.
Yes.
Obviously, if there's a company that's got maybe 5-6 employees, they've still got the law to comply with.
Yeah.
Where do they begin?
Well, I think that's my bugbearer with limited company business owners. They're not told when they set up a business what they're in charge of or what their responsibilities are. So they don't know what they don't know. So when I meet business owners and go, oh, do you have employees? Do you have risk assessments or health and safety policy? Sometimes I get a blank stare. But because they don't know, they've never been informed. Even on business courses, you don't get told any of your health and safety responsibilities. Quite a lot of HR stuff's covered, isn't it? But health and safety seems to not be on the agenda, which I find really hard.
It's very true. I had a lot of new clients after lockdown because previously they'd winged it. They'd just got on with it and not thought about it even. But it became important for them as a result of lockdown.
Well, yeah, because there was a lot of stuff in lockdown, wasn't there, that they had to have a COVID risk assessment, back to work assessment and all of that, which was issued by the government, which of course, like, regulations are issued by the government, aren't they? But there's so many. And no one's going to sit down and read a whole regulation just to see if they're going to comply, because who has 2 hours to spend reading a regulation front to back?
No.
They're not, they're too busy. Like, and we've discussed it in the past in like partner networking groups, like business owners wear all the hats, don't they?
They do.
So it's like what can they spend their time on when they're trying to earn the money and bring all the work in?
Yeah.
But I think it very much depends on the industry that they work in. Like, say care, for example, it's highly regulated. So they are audited on a regular basis by the local authority or whoever they get their framework work from for the care that they provide. So they know exactly what they need to follow because there's a lot more guidance in that industry. But as a general business starting up, it's really hard to know where to go and where to find the information.
And even if they have got the very bare basics, once they pass 5 employees, they've got a whole lot of other things to do.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of people actually think, I'm finding anyway, that if they've got 4 or less employees, they don't have to do anything. It's not quite right, is it?
No, it's not quite right now. No, not at all. You still need to have like an appointed competent person to give you that advice, whether you just have them for an hour to have a phone call to provide you that advice, or whether you go into like a contract with a consultancy or whichever. Yeah. But it's but saying that, like a lot of like construction contractors we work with, like self-employed sole traders, if they like need a SSIP, like CHARS or construction line or whichever, they have to then provide the details to their AP. But then other businesses, if they're not going for a qualification and they need to tender for work or win contracts, then again, they don't know.
No, very true.
And it's hard to, how do we get that message out there? That's my,
It is.
It's really difficult
It is. One of the ways I do it is via networking meetings.
Yeah.
unfortunately, you've got to specialise on what network meetings you're going to go to,
Yeah.
because not all of them are relevant for it. But it's one of the ways I do
Yeah,
it.
it's a good way, and like you're a very approachable, personable person, so you talk easily
Yes,
to a business
yeah.
owner, or even a HR manager, operational manager, anyone to try and say, are you aware, just to make sure I'm not selling you anything, but just so you know that you need it.
Yeah.
And I found more and more now, say we're brought in, say if someone's had an accident and they're in the thick of it, like the insurers are in, they're having to put the claims packs together, are they going to admit liability or whichever, we're then brought in after that, like to help them with that, which is very reactive, isn't it? Whereas if like a consultancy is brought in proactively, hopefully we could avoid all of that. But even insurers now are being a bit more helpful to us as an industry, where they're setting out their requirements and doing audits on like the larger companies, and they're telling them who's your appointed person, where are your risk assessments, are they briefed and signed, because
Definitely.
they write risk assessments and then they're sat in a
folder. File. Either that or they'll get somebody else to do them and write them in a file, and they never looked at from year on year on.
Yeah, and I think that's one of my biggest things is, okay, yeah, you've done your risk assessments. Are they relevant, first of all? Like, are they actually, are they just a tick box exercise, or are you briefing them to your work?
Are they detailed enough as well, or are they just very vague things with, saying yes, we've got that, or whatever.
Yeah.
Got to be suitable.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What's the most frequent health and safety mistakes you think a small and medium-sized business make, particularly when they're setting up?
Now I'm going to be really truthful here, and I'll probably get told off for it. There are some really large consultancies in the UK who tie you in for 5, 7, 10-year contracts, and business owners I've spoken to who we work for are in contract with them and also bring us in because they weren't aware that they were being tied into a 10-year contract and they can't get out of it.
No way.
And they're very expensive. Fine, you get like a online portal and stuff like that, e-learning, but you're tied in. It's like, and I find it really unethical to tie someone in for that long, especially like an SME where they could be on a scale-up program and they're bringing in more and more staff each year, and their processes change, their systems change, their risks change, but they're tied to this contract, and they don't even own the copyright to their health and safety policy.
No.
So, like, as an example, we had to update a health and safety policy for one of our customers because they got ISO 45001, which is amazing. Went to that company and said, oh, we need to update the policy. Can you change the wording to include this? And they refused. No, we don't change it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? And it just frustrates me. So if you're setting up and you are going to find a health and safety and HR company, make sure you read the terms and conditions for whatever the contract is you're signing up to.
They're very good salesmen people.
Yes.
Very good salespeople. And what you get maybe a file, you get, as you say, an online portal of some sort.
Yeah.
You may see them once a year if you're lucky.
Yeah.
And, it's...
but it's the tie-in that
Yeah.
drives me nuts, and the copyright
Yeah.
issue. Because then, and I hate the fact that they're in contract with them and bringing us in as well and paying us as well. So they're paying double whack for the one thing that they need.
Yeah.
And
it's
a bugbear.
You're a number with them, aren't you, instead of actually helping them.
Yeah.
I did a quick look the other night. There are currently about 200 pieces of legislation that are tied in with the Health and Safety at Work Act. Lots of industries like the care sector, as you mentioned, have loads of other legislation on top of that. How on earth does a small, medium-sized business keep up with that?
Yeah, I mean...
And know what's relevant?
Yeah, I think it's really key that they have that appointed competent person, and I keep saying, I could just call it the AP. So it's someone that you bring up for advice, so like a health and safety consultancy, or you can train internally, but there's other issues with that. But there are ways around it where, I mean, we have a subscription to an online system called Active Comply. So it automatically sends you legal updates and overview of legislation that you need to comply with, and you do an assessment against it. So we use it for our customers where we'll set up their legal register within the system, and then we go in and assess their compliance to each of the regulation. But they can, a company can do that
Of course
themselves.
you can.
But
Yeah.
it's time and effort, and I suppose you need to understand the
cost.
regulations. Yeah, because it's not cheap. Definitely not cheap. But, you know, there is a way of doing that. But I think, obviously, the HSE website has a lot of guidance on it, which is sort of like, you know, plain English speaking, because the legislation, you can't read it. I mean, it'll send me to sleep reading the Health and Safety Work Act. I'm not going to lie. I do health and safety all the time, every day,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm not.
Good
yeah,
if you're an insomniac and can't sleep.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably would send me to sleep. But there are ways of understanding your sort of compliance levels, and then finding out about new legislation coming in. I think that's really key.
Yeah.
You know, if there's any consultations or stuff going through government,
Yeah.
then it's
There's
key
quite
to
a
know
few
that.
consultations coming up at the moment, aren't there? There's,
Yeah.
there's one on the video regs, there's one
Yeah.
on the use of lead at work and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
There's quite a few coming up, aren't there?
Yeah, I think I've started to look at the RIDDOR reg stuff because I want to put in a response to that, because we do a lot of stuff with accident investigations and reporting, and even though I've been doing health and safety for a long time, accident investigations and reporting, I still need to refer back to the rules of RIDDOR to go, is that really a RIDDOR?
Yeah.
And then you'll get stuff in from an insurer for a company and go, we've got a claim come in from blah blah blah, where's the RIDDOR report? And you go, well, there is no RIDDOR report because it wasn't
Because,
RIDDOR
yeah.
reportable.
Yeah.
But the insurer turns around and goes, well, we think that's incorrect. So then you go, well, I'll just report everything.
So
It's
we've had an incident with one of my clients. I can't go into the detail of it, but basically, I don't think it's RIDDOR. I've
Yeah.
spoken to legal people, and that exact same thing is cropping up. The guy actually phoned the HSE who contacted my client,
Yeah.
saying, "Why have you not reported it?" And we explained, and they agreed with us.
yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of misunderstanding on the reporting regulations.
Yeah, so
Definitely.
it's good it's come out for consultation because it does need an update.
Mm.
I mean, it wasn't that long ago it was
2013 the last
updated,
one.
really.
2013.
13 years ago,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, some other regulations are a lot older, which do need review.
Manual handling.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the way, you know, technology is these days, there's so much advancement since those regulations first came out.
Yeah.
They're so out of date. And, you know, it's, you know, of course, technology advancement is so needed.
Of course
You know,
it is.
even, you know, AI coming in, well, it is in,
Yeah.
but there's all sorts of stuff behind that.
So, I mean, AI itself, how far can it go? You know,
Well,
the law says responsible person.
yeah,
So if an AI is going to do it all, there's no responsible person. And it's not always right.
no, it's not. No, I went to a seminar a couple of weeks ago and there was an AI specialist doing a talk and I found it so interesting. They were talking about the differences between ChatGPT, Copilot, and obviously Copilot is a bit more secure with information. You'd never feed personal banking information, client information into any
No.
AI bot, whichever. But he did like a live search for something on ChatGPT, and it comes out with references at the bottom, doesn't it, where it gets its information from, and all of them were incorrect.
Yeah.
They were all made up.
Yeah.
Because when you looked into it further, I thought, oh my word, that like scares the crap out of me.
Yeah.
But I mean, we use AI in the different things that we do
Of course.
because I find it really interesting. You know, social media wording. You know, and it's only good if you can put in a good prompt.
Of course it is.
But I don't think it'll take over an AP.
So
The responsible person. There's no way you can get AI.
I
to
was
do
talking to somebody about a week or two ago who'd been to some events, and this company was showing off this robot, you know, Android type robot that was designed to go onto construction sites to find faults and pick it all up.
that. Ooh, okay.
Like, no high
Right.
vis or whatever. All I can think of there is any construction worker's going to knock it over
Yeah.
if that came in.
They'll dig a
They
hole
don't,
and
they're
fill
not
it
going
in.
to take anything off a robot, are they?
No. I mean, it's bad enough having a health and safety advisor come round doing an inspection.
Yeah.
You generally don't get the best welcome sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, of course you're not going to
I
get
mean, on a
the best
construction site, where they're going to walk, they're going to keep. If it's anything like these you see in China falling over when they're running and that, they're
welcome.
going
Yeah.
to.
How will that work? Well,
I don't know.
the sites I've worked on, like big civil engineering sites, it'll fall into a hole.
Yeah.
There's no way that'll work. I mean, I can imagine a drone
it's
would
probably
work.
early days, but with it.
Yeah,
but,
I mean that's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen a good system that's come out where, say for example, I write a risk assessment, I can then feed that into the system, and it will look for any gaps that I might have missed.
That's how I use it.
That is really a really good system. And I thought that'd be really good for our apprentices and stuff, like as they're learning, if they write a risk assessment or, you know, a policy on a particular subject and we feed it into that and then it'll pop up and see what gaps there are.
Exactly.
Because that would give me peace of mind as well to go, oh yeah, maybe we have missed that, because you're only human, aren't you?
Of course,
you know, everyone makes mistakes.
Still, as long as you've got that final check from a human, I think it can help a lot.
Yeah.
But you've got to be very wary that doing your own risk assessment on AI, there's a lot of errors crop up. We see them every day.
I did do one once just to test it out and wrote a little prompt and say, please write me a risk assessment on this, whatever. And it was just all American. I was like, I really hope that people aren't using it to write a risk assessment.
Yeah.
There probably are people out there, to be fair.
Well, I've seen them. And you can tell straight away it's AI written.
Yeah.
Especially when it refers to OSHA instead of HSE.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
Unless you're working for an American client, then sure. But
well, yeah. Or it's written in American English.
Yes.
Is the other one.
Yeah.
So, as long as you're careful. How should small businesses, medium-sized businesses be thinking about their responsibilities under management regs for doing risk assessments? How do they go about that? Or has they got... a business owner with 6 employees has got, similar to yourself, you've got umpteen hats you're wearing.
Yeah.
How are you going to do your risk assessments?
I think it very much depends on the type of person you are. If you're very safety conscious and you set up your business, you know, in a way where, you know, you want the best for your people, you want, you know, all your dots lined up, you want it to be right, you were probably well informed to write the risk assessments yourself, because you might have that, you know, way of thinking. Because it is a specific way of thinking when you do risk assessments, like to be risk adverse, or, you know, you've got your control measures, but you're looking at the ratings before and after the control measures, or you just outsource it. Yeah. Because I've got to a point where I'd never run a business before. I'd done health and safety and a lot of quality management over the years. Never, you know, HR, payroll, insurance, you know, networking, sales, all of that was completely new to me. And I had to outsource straight away stuff that I just could not get my head round. Like HR is a beast of its own. Accountancy, you know, even doing your bookkeeping stuff. Find the person who's good at it and outsource it, because it gives you peace of mind, first of all, and you know that they're competent. You know, I would never not use an accountant. Yeah. I think I tried once years ago to submit a tax return. I looked at it and went, no. I will just get it completely wrong and end up having to pay thousands in tax. But so I definitely look, and it's finding the right person to suit you as well. Of course. All consultants are different, aren't they? You know, you got to find the right match. Yeah. You know, even down to personality.
It's right, and you know, health and safety doesn't sell; it's a requirement. Yeah. So it's us that sell. Yeah. Isn't it?
Yeah. And it's sometimes it's really hard to find a really good health and safety person. Yeah. You know, it's not dead boring. Yeah. Only a tick box. You know, doesn't understand your core product or what you do, and you know, being realistic on how you can do your control measures. I think that's the biggest thing.
That's right. So eight years ago when I set up my business, I decided then I would never have a clipboard. Yeah. And I've stuck to it. Unfortunately, I've got an iPad and I've got a few other things which look like clipboards but can't do anything better about that. Yeah. But I've never had a clipboard. For us. You're not going to sit around going, ooh, no.
No. Shouldn't have done that. Yeah. You can't do this, you can't do that. Yeah. I think health and safety's moved on a lot from that, which is really good.
I think so. Yeah. But you see old footage every now and then on TV where they're going back and you just think, cringe really for some of the things that happen.
Gives us a bad rep. It did. Not going to lie.
It did. And we're still trying to come out of that, but I think we're getting there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. You know. And I found, like we were talking before, we're becoming a lot more collaborative with each other. Like I found when I first set up, and I spoke to a couple of health and safety consultants and smaller business, they didn't want to know me. No. They just saw, competition. I'm like, and I'm really glad that like since COVID, we've progressed and like we're in Safety Social together. It's just really nice to have that group of like-minded people who really want to do good.
Yeah.
But be practical in the approach that you do it.
That's
'cause,
right.
you know.
And, you know, any consultant like us that says they know everything are completely and utterly lying.
Not a chance.
They're not competent if they say that, to be totally honest. Full stop. You know, my last guest was an asbestos surveyor.
Yeah.
You know, and anything relating to asbestos, I'll ask him.
Yeah.
Because he's the expert in it.
You can't be an expert in everything.
So it's something to watch, you know, if we don't know the answer to absolutely everything.
No. Well, it's true. And then it's good to have that network of contacts.
Exactly.
So we know, like, who to call if we need asbestos disease, you know, high risk, fire risk assessments or, you know, really niche stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't touch Legionella with a barge pole.
No.
It's too scientific for me. Like, it's interesting.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, but I could never do a Legionella risk assessment.
No.
It's a very niche thing that you have to do.
It's a specialist subject.
Yeah. And I think what I do find is, say if we go in and do an audit somewhere, I'll look and review their risk assessments. Then they'll have like as standard risk assessments. They'll have the fire risk assessment, Legionella risk assessment. I was like, no, they are per property. They're not a general business thing. They have to be per property, which people don't generally realise.
No, they don't. No.
Yeah,
I've got a few clients that have more than one property, and they think, "Oh, we've got a risk assessment." No, you have for here, not there.
Yeah. And
Definitely.
I think with consultants as well, we're not just health and safety advisors. We are agony ants. We are a bit of HR. We're a bit of this, bit of that, and I think like especially like we try and encourage like young learners to get into health and safety. So we've got 2 apprentices now. We've got T-level students, and we do a lot in the schools and stuff to really sort of push STEM and our industry, because people don't think, oh, I'm going to be a health and safety advisor.
No. It's normally an accident that gets people into them.
Yeah, for sure. But I think there's so many skills that you have to learn, like listening skills, knowing how to adapt, how you communicate with one person compared to another, like speaking to a business owner compared to the guy on the shop floor can be 2 very different conversations. And I think some people really need to understand that you have to develop those skills, you know, and be that agony aunt to that business owner, because you really wanted to get to the nitty gritty of how they run their business to know how to do their risk assessments. Yeah. And if you're just doing a quick chat and not really seeing what they're doing, it's really difficult to then get that across, that it's really important. And again, they have to be briefed and signed for that evidence, because we're going in to protect that business owner from claims, from, you know, accidents, losing money, you know, being up in court. That's the reason why we exist, is to help them with the regulations.
Of course it is.
So it's but it's very difficult.
And the people you were on about before, the bigger companies that we were on about earlier, they can't do that. They visit maybe once a year, twice a year maximum. Yeah. And they really can't do that. They can't help that.
I think the thing is with that though, you could, like, we have clients that we only go in once a year. You can only do so much as you can as what they're willing to pay. That's the thing. And health and safety isn't a cheap business. No. You know, if I look at my business now and I hit that 5 employee threshold, and I go, oh, would I pay our rates for a health and safety company to come in? And I go, actually, that'd be quite a bit of a shock to my, you know, cash flow, or, you know, my annual budgeting forecast of now I have to incorporate that. But I think you have to get good people in to set you up properly.
Definitely.
And not just leave you to it, because like the online portals are really good and I do love them. There are some really good ones out there with the larger consultancies that I use a lot, and they are great. But like there's the system in it where you create your risk assessments in it. But if you've not got someone who knows how to do risk assessments, then you're kind of left with...
Exactly. You've got to have the knowledge in the first place to do it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, if you decide after that 5-year, 10-year contract to leave, all your risk assessments are gone with them.
Disappeared. Yeah, because your access has gone from the system. And you can only download them as a PDF, not as like Word.
Yeah, and you can't really change them.
Yeah.
So it's something to be wary of, really, if you're a newer business in particular, definitely.
Yeah.
When does a health and safety issue cross from civil liability into a criminal one?
Well, again, it very much depends on your morals, your moral compass, and what your values are as a person. I think when there's evidence there to suggest that the person managing a project or a business completely ignores and decides to go against advice and regulation, and maybe not totally against regulation, but goes, I'm not doing that, and someone gets hit, to me that's criminal. But there's the vicarious liability, is it the Corporate Manslaughter Act, there's all sorts, I don't really think business owners understand that they can be taken to court and be put in jail, and there's been a lot more over the last 2 years. Like, I've seen loads of cases come out where directors have gone to prison.
Yes, there's a lot more.
And it's
the fines are a lot heavier.
It's not
as
just
well.
for deaths. I'm talking
losing a
non-deaths.
finger or anything.
Yeah, it's there's more and more. I think there seems to be more checks by the HSE. I don't know. I mean, they're a bit hit and miss with their inspections anyway. But again, to me, it's down to your morals as a person.
Yes, it is.
If you're setting someone out to do work, and that they're going to put a hand in a machine and it might not be switched off, send them to prison.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm like, no.
We've also got to remember as well that the HSE charge by the hour for their investigation these days.
That's gone up.
It's £188
£188 an hour.
Yeah, per hour. And
I wish
it
I
adds
could
up,
earn that.
It really does add up.
Yeah, that'll do. Yeah.
And your insurance company won't pay out for things like that,
No, they don't.
or fines as well.
They don't pay out for any type of fine, do they?
Yeah.
No, but and it's funny because we had a client where the HSE came in to inspect, and it actually, I'm not going to swear, it really annoyed me because we've been saying for a couple of months, there's these issues that you need to sort out. Like, they ran a paint shop, like the LEV had gone under, they hadn't had it maintained, there was guys in there spraying, there was all sorts wrong, and the business owner would not listen, and we were getting more and more annoyed, really. Got a call, the HSE's come in to do an inspection. I was like, oh, okay, right, brilliant, we'll get the report and it'll have those actions on there. Yeah, I managed to swerve them away from the paint shop. I was like, what do you mean? He went, oh, we didn't take them in the paint shop. They just had a little look around the factory. We got no actions.
They know you're doing that.
I was like, oh, I was so annoyed.
Yeah.
But I'm really surprised that the inspector didn't want to see everywhere.
No.
The paint shop is very obvious. There's a big door, paint shop.
They would at the moment because they've got a campaign on for isocyanates.
Yeah, I sound like an idiot saying you need to do this, and this.
And then they're not looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them are straight out of college, university these days as well, which is, I think that's a bit of an issue. They've not got necessarily the experience.
Yeah.
It's
probably because of the pay grades.
Yeah,
when they brought the latest set of jobs out, the pay grades were a bit rubbish, weren't they?
Yeah.
So.
Just one final question. If a business owner takes just one action to improve their compliance, what should it be?
I'd probably say search for a really good appointed person.
Yeah.
That you can really gel with and that will really work well with you. And please make sure your risk assessments are briefed and signed onto for that evidence.
So that everybody's read them and understood
Yes, them. It's that signature which will help. If there is an incident, you get a claim in.
Totally agree.
Straight away, the evidence is there.
Yeah, totally agree. Ashley, thank you very much.
Thanks,
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was
very quick, that, didn't it?
Yeah, I know. We talked for hours, to be fair.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you again.
Yeah, thanks, Kev.
You've been watching Safety is My Middle Name. See you next time. Take care.
Safety is his middle name. Keeping you safe, keeping your reputation in the game. Safety is his middle name. Keeping you legal, protecting your brand name. Safety is his middle name.
Hype Podcast Studios.